Shri Mataji, let us all collectively do pranam to Shri Mataji and raise our kundalini and take bandhan. We can take the Mahamantras. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Mahalakshmi Mahasaraswati Mahakali Trigunaatmika Kundalini Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Kalki Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Kalki Sakshat Shri Sahasrara Swamini Moksha Pradayani Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi नमो नमः। Shri Ganesh. Om Tvamev Sakshat Shri Ganesh Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. We can stand up to offer this song to Shri Mataji and to welcome her. Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram. Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram Patita Pavan Sita Ram. Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram Patita Pavan Sita Ram. Sitaram Jai Sitaram Bhaj Pyare Tu Sitaram. Sitaram Jai Sitaram Bhaj Pyare Tu Sitaram. ईश्वर अल्लाह तेरे नाम सबको सम्मति दे भगवान. रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम. रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम. सीताराम जय सीताराम भज प्यारे तू सीताराम. सीताराम जय सीताराम भज प्यारे तू सीताराम. ईश्वर अल्लाह तेरे नाम सबको सम्मति दे भगवान. रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम. रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम. पतित पावन सीताराम. पतित पावन सीताराम.
Today we are celebrating in Switzerland the coronation of Shri Rama on Dashera Day. Many things happened on Dashera Day. The most important was that Shri Rama was coronated as a king on this day. He also killed Ravana on this day. Many may say that how can it be he killed Ravana and he was coronated on the same date. In those days in India, we had supersonic aeroplanes. And it's a fact. And the aeroplane's name was Pushpak, meaning the flower. It was called as Pushpak, and it has a tremendous speed. So after killing Ravana, he came to Ayodhya with his wife, and that was the day he was crowned. On the 9th day, he worshipped the goddess to get strength, Shakti for his weapons. And the 10th day, he killed Ravana. So you can imagine how much advanced people were there at the time of Shri Rama and his kingdom. The reason was the king was an incarnation. Also, he was a benevolent king, as described by Socrates. But the story of Rama, they say, was written before he was born. Even before there was any inkling of it, the seer Valmiki wrote the whole story of Shri Rama. Shri Rama's birth and all that are brought forth by the Agni, the fire. And he was born in the dynasty of the Surya, is the sun. So with all that, born out of the blessings of the Agni, that is fire, and also was born in the dynasty of Surya. He was one of the mildest avataras you have ever had. He is known to be a very English language, formal person, in the sense, sankoch, that he would go to any extent to bear upon himself the problems than to tell others to do something. We still had many people in India like that. Like we had one Prime Minister, Lal Bahadur Shastri. And if he was sitting in the room and there are people sitting and this electricity was on somehow, say by light or something, and he wants to put it off, he would not ask anyone to put it off. Slowly he'll get up from his seat, walk up to the switch and just put it off so that he shouldn't ask for it. This is one of the greatest quality of Shri Rama, that he would not make anyone do anything for him or order anything or would use someone for their purpose. See, he was the blessing of fire and born in the Surya. But what we find, those people who are born maybe in very lowly families, in the negative families, the left-sided as you can call it, with all kinds of problems, have a terrible agya and a terrible Surya in them. The person who is born in the Surya has to be extremely humble. He is the one who shows that nothing can affect, nothing can make him feel that he is something great. Now, when we see his life further, he was a very humble man. We've seen now people who try to despise others. I don't like you. I don't like. It's not good. It's very difficult. It's a sign that such a person is extremely low in character. Has no character at all, but is low in character. Anybody who has any character is shown by the tolerance he has of other people. Intolerance is a sign of a person who is extremely egoistical and is vain, this vanity. Shri Rama was so much loved by the people where he ruled in that state, and he had the most beautiful wife of the most venerated father Janaka, and who was the beloved son of his father. But he was such an humble man, that in all his character you see the beauty. Like he was going by a little boat when he went for his exile. And the one who was taking him was an ordinary boatman. And the boatman was feeling very much upset that he's sitting before the king of Ayodhya and he doesn't have proper clothes. So Shri Rama, who was himself, was wearing nothing but valkalas, are the clothes which are worn by the village people or worn by the people who live in the primitive areas, only kind of leaves that they have. He had to wear that because his mother, the stepmother, asked for that kind of a boon from the father. And then Sri Rama just told him, "Why are you worried? I'm wearing this, I'm no more a king. I'm sitting before you like this. You should be quite comforted. And I really don't know how to steer the boat, while you know how to steer the boat. So why should you be worried?" Like that, he kept even the people who we would call as low in society at a very high pedestal. Which shows that he respected human beings. He himself is called as Maryada Purushottama. Means he was the one who knew how far to go with someone, Maryada. How to talk to someone, how to approach someone. While we find people who misbehave, even with their husbands, with their wives, with their children, with everyone, and also outside they are about to jump on others. That's absolutely against Rama. It's like Ravana. Even Ravana was not like this. He was also of not that nature. Because he had certain dharmas within him. He was a realized soul, but he had become a Rakshasa because he became arrogant. But even his arrogance cannot be matched with many modern people and modern girls and men that I hear and see, that it is surprising they have really surpassed Ravana. Ravana only had 10 heads, but sometimes I feel that the modern men might have, or the women especially, might have 108 heads. The arrogance, the amount of expression of hatred, so ridiculous and makes a person look so useless. But I see such people very common, and in Sahaja Yoga also they crawl somehow. Actually, such people are absolutely despised by God Almighty. You go further with his life. See, he went and into the village where a very old woman who was belonging to the primitive class of Bhils had very few teeth, and she brought uh, some fruits, little fruits we call as pear. And she brought and gave it to him, that's Shri Ram. You see, I have got these for you. I don't have anything else. And these, I've tested all of them. Actually, in India, if you put in the mouth, it is uttishta. Nobody will touch it. But she says, I've tested all of them by piercing my teeth into it, and I've seen that none of them are sour. Shri Rama didn't like sour fruits, she knew. So none of them are sour, and you can have them. I mean, in a way, if it is done to somebody in the West, they will hit you hard. Immediately, Shri Rama rushed forward and took the beads from her hand, kissed her hands, said, all right, I'm going to have them. With such enthusiasm, he ate them. So Lakshmana was a little angry at that lady. What's this going on? So Sita ji said, oh, do you like them very much? She said, yes, but I'm not going to give you anything. She said, no, I'm your half body, you have to give me. So he gave some to Sita ji. So Sita ji ate, what a thing, it's like nectar of heaven I'm eating. So Lakshmana felt very jealous. He said, sister-in-law, can I not have a little of it? He said, no, I can't give you. You ask your brother. I'm not going to give you. I have a very little share. Why don't you ask your brother? So he goes to his brother. He said, can I have some more? So Shri Rama smiled and gave him that bear, which was eaten or touched or was pierced by the teeth of a primitive woman who is actually an outcast according to the Brahminic laws of India. The sweetness of Shri Rama, the way he used to make people feel comfortable. Like, I would say, an example of a oyster who gets a little stone into the body of the shell, takes out a kind of a shiny liquid and covers it with that shiny liquid and makes it into a pearl to be comfortable. Now, he didn't want his own comfort. Rama a little bit different, that he wanted to make everyone into a diamond or a pearl so that the other person would shine and would look nice. And that's how he felt comforted. His qualities, if you have to imbibe, first of all, we have to understand the innate situation of Shri Rama. Shri Rama is placed on the right hand side of your heart. Right hand side, right heart. He is placed there. Now, in a human being, there is no right heart. If you tell somebody there's right heart, they say, what? There are 2 hearts or 3 hearts? In our Sahaja Yoga, we have 3 hearts. One is the left, another is the right, and one is the center. Now, the right heart is a very important thing. The right heart looks after the whole lungs, both the lungs, or the throat, the trachea, the nose, the inner part. The outer side is looked after. We can say the features are given by Sri Krishna. but the inner part of it is all done by Shri Rama. They are the same, but one acts as in the inner part, the another as the outer part. It gives you the ears. From the inner part, Sri Rama does, he gives you the eyes in the inner part of the eyes. Now, it's so important to have the inner side all right and the outer side. Is an example of Sri Rama. He never cared for the outer side or the outward looks of a person. Because he came before Sri Krishna, he tried to build up the inner side of a human being. So we can say, though he is on the right heart, he acts through your Hamsa chakra and partly through your Vishuddhi chakra in the inner side of it. Because Sri Krishna, in the inner side of it, is Sri Ram, is Sri Vishnu. So, when somebody is, say, not good looking according to the Western standard, according to me, the Western standards are rather funny. Because Western standards don't look like, neither like Krishna or Sri Rama. The person like Sri Rama was a very healthy, tall person with his hands up to the knees. Ajanubhav. He is the one who has Ajanubhav. And he was plump. Both of them were plump. They had to be plump people because they were, though they were born of the Agni, he was born of the Agni, but the water is the main element of Sri Vishnu. So they were all plump people. They were not thin like sticks, as today's modern ideas are, to be thin like sticks and like TB patients. But it doesn't mean all plump people are good. We always logically think that plump people are, if mother says so, then plump people are good. It's not the point. The inner side of it, I'm saying. The inner side of it is just the opposite. Inner side of it is absolutely beautiful and absolutely full of love, affection and warmth. A person who doesn't have these things is a sign of a person who is not a surgeon, first of all. A person who is very loud, talks loudly, speaks loudly, laughs at wrong places, must be half mad, but cannot be a surgeon. See, the softness of Sri Rama goes to the extremes where I call the sankocha, the formality, the formal. But it is in English language, formal is not the word, sankoch. He was once, when he was fighting Ravana, he was taking out with his arrow his 10 heads one after another. And if he took out one, then took out the second, the first one would come back. So because he had a kind of a blessing that nobody can kill him by hitting him on his head. So Lakshmana says, you know for definite that this Ravana cannot be killed by hitting on his head. So why don't you hit him in his heart? So he said, the reason is this, that just now in his heart is Mahalakshmi, the Sita. Sita is sitting in his heart. And how can I hit him on his heart? Because she's there, she might be hurt. So what's the use of hitting on the head, he said. He said, because once I start hitting him on the head fast, his attention will go there. As soon as his attention will go into his head, then I can hit him on his heart. See the sankoch. See the sankoch, the way he talked. Now the another character about him was that he was consistent. He was never inconsistent like Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna was a diplomat. And diplomacy is in being inconsistent. Sri Krishna's style was different. Now, when it went ahead with it in his character, which was so beautiful, that you find he was such a consistent person. Whatever he said, all the life he carried that. For example, he said, I'm the one who believes in one wife. Eka patni vrat. Now he had a very nice wife, no doubt, very beautiful wife, but she had gone to Ravana and he was left alone. When they wanted to start a kind of a yajna called as Rajasuya yajna, which was meant to be the conquering the whole world. Then they asked him, you have to marry because you have to have your wife. They said, no, I can't marry because nobody could be like my wife and I can't marry. I can forego this kind of a yajna, but I can't marry again. So then they said, all right, there's only one thing you can do is to make a statue of Sita in gold. And you have to use her, that statue, as a wife representing. He said, that I will agree. He took away all his ornaments, everything, and made that statue, and he did this again. So whatever he said, he followed thoroughly. In his dharma, he was perfect. Another incident is that when Sita was lost, he never slept. He never slept on a bed, always on the Mother Earth. Never slept on a bed, always on the Mother Earth. The pain he had of his wife is very well described by all the poets of India. And when Sita left him ultimately, in a very mysterious way, she just disappeared in the Mother Earth, because Mother Earth had given her birth, so she disappeared into Mother Earth. Then Shri Rama became absolutely lost and he jumped in the river Sharayu and disappeared in the water element from where he had come. Now this man had to give up his wife. In these contrasts, you can see the wave rising and falling of a personality. The society in which he lived, the state which he ruled, had an objection for a wife who had lived with Ravana. And the public started talking about it. So as a good king, he just decided that his wife should be left forever. And then he sent her on a beautiful chariot with his prime minister and his brother Lakshmana, who took her down and left her, told her this is what has happened, and that Shri Rama has asked her to take you down to the ashram of Valmiki. As a result of that, she got very upset, and she said, she was Adishakti, so she doesn't have to bother. She said, you just leave me here. Very self-respecting person. She didn't say, no, I'll come to him, or I'll sue him, I'll go in the courts, get all his money, how dare he throw me out. Nothing of the kind. That's the grace of a woman. Graciously, she said, all right, now you have listened to your brother, I'm your sister-in-law elder too. Now you obey me. And I tell you, as your sister-in-law, that you can now go, leave me here alone, and I don't want you to go any further with me to deport me with somebody. And she was pregnant. Here, if it happens, of course, horrible things can happen. But in India, if such a thing happens, the wife will kill herself or she won't be able to bear it. I think both things are just the same in escape. If there's no aggression, then there is recession. But she said, no, I have to give birth to these two children. I can look after myself. All right, graciously he's done it, I have nothing. And please tell him not to worry about me. And she told Shri Rama, Shri Lakshmana, that all right, you look after him. That's all I want. And she told the chief minister, the mantri, that you must look after the kingdom. See the dignity, see the balance, see the character, the personality of Sri Rama. He was called as Maryada Purushottama. And look at his wife. She was equal to him in every way. When she was kept by Ravana, Ravana was so frightened of her Shakti that he would not touch her. He used to frighten her. Say, I'll do this to you, the women of India, I'll do this to the women of the world, I'll do that kind of a horrible thing, I'll take another birth, I'll misbehave. She said, do what you like. You cannot touch me. He could not touch her hand. He was so frightened. And when Hanumana brought the ring of Shri Rama and presented to her and said that this is the ring of Shri Rama. She said, yes, I know. How is he? He said, all right. All inquiries she had about herself. So he said, Mother, I can take you on my back. I can easily take you. You come on my back and I'll take you. She said, no, I won't go with you. It's Shri Rama who is a brave king. He should come himself, fight this Ravana, kill him because he is evil. And then I will go with him with all the glory. She was not frightened of anything. For her, the important thing was that Ravana should be killed. He is evil and he should be killed by Rama. Such a great courage for a woman. Both sides, if you see, you'll be surprised that how a woman's character is such a powerful thing. It's not a reactionary thing. My husband is like this, that's why I'm like that. Or my husband doesn't do this for me, that's why I'm like that. My husband has gone away, so I'm finished. What am I to do without my husband? Nothing of the kind. She stands on her feet. She said no to Hanumana, and she stands on her feet and she says, when Rama will come and kill this evil and remove this evil from this earth, then only he can take me with him. I won't go with you. I won't escape. I won't run away. Nothing. I am going to face it myself here. For a woman, it is too much to say, to be imprisoned in a horrible person's jail or in a place which is so dangerous for her. To say that I won't go. Whatever you may try, whatever tricks you may try, whatever you may say, I won't go. Just imagine. And Ravana was such a horrid fellow. He did all kinds of things to her, but she kept absolutely calm and quiet, waiting for her husband to come back. Can we think of such women in modern times? So satisfied with themselves, so much in balance, so much full of confidence and strength. This is the message of Sita's life. The benevolence of Shri Rama was shown when he started ruling the people. He was the one who cared for the needs of the people. For him, it was important that the people whom he ruled should be happy and joyous. He looked after them with great love. He had 2 sons whom he looked after for a short time because they were lost with the mother, Sita, and they are the ones who found him out in a way that Valmiki taught them how to sing the Ramayana. And they went to Ayodhya and sang the Ramayana. Rama went with them, and one day in one of the yagyas, when they caught the horse of Shri Rama, Hanumana found it impossible to fight those 2 boys, and he couldn't understand. Here now the character of great Hanumana one has to describe. He went and told Shri Rama, I can't understand these 2 boys, I can't face them, I don't know who they are. So Shri Rama went there, and these boys were standing with their arrows. Then Shri Sita appeared before them, and she said, you cannot fight, he is your father. This made Hanumana realize it, and he said, all right, I can fight Shri Rama now. Why did he leave you like this? See the sweetness of Sri Hanumana, who was such a great devotee of Shri Rama, could see that he has done injustice to my mother, and he stood for that. It's very sweet of Sri Hanumana to do that. Hanumana is, as you know, is the angel Gabriel, who is innocence, simplicity and dynamism. His dynamism was such that as soon as he was born, he said, better eat this sun because the sun is scorching the people in India. So he went and got down the sun. People had to say that, you see, though too the sun is scorching, but it's of great help, please release the sun. Why did you eat it off? So then he released the sun. Hanumana's whole life was spent in serving Shri Rama. And he was such a dedicated bhakta of Shri Rama. Now here the contrast is also that Hanumana had Navadha siddhis, 9 siddhis. The Anima, Ganima, Laguma, and all sorts of things, that he could become small, he could become big, he could, so many things he had. Despite all these siddhis, and the amount of power he had, that Sri Rama once asked him that my brother Lakshmana is being hit and he's very sick, he's just dying. So you go and get a particular kind of sanjeevani, a kind of herb which I want to rub on his head. So he went there and he couldn't find it. So he brought the whole of the mountain on his hand and gave it to Rama. Now you select, I don't know, I can't find it. That is the Hanumana Shakti. And with all that power, he was such a humble person and such a dedicated person. This is the sign of a powerful surgeon. Anybody who is powerful has to be humble and non-violent. Mahatma Gandhi used to say that what is the non-violence of the weak? A weak has to be non-violent. What's so great? But that's a policy or a kind of a protection that he has. So a weak person has to be non-violent because he cannot face, he cannot protest. But non-violence of the powerful is the sign of real non-violence. Those who are powerful, if they are non-violent, that means they are quite confident of their powers. Those people who are confident of their powers, why should they aggress others? They just stand. All right, come along. What do you want? Even saying that, people run away. So those who are violent, angry, hot-tempered, jump at everyone, torture everyone, trouble everyone, are the people who are very weak-charactered. Their character is weak. If their character was all right, then they would not have done all these things. That's the sign of a person who is either possessed and under the influence of the possession, he's doing that, or he's too weak and he's possessed by his anger because he doesn't have that much power to bear anything. The most powerful thing is the Mother Earth because she has the power to bear. The one who has the power to bear is the powerful. The one who does not have any power to bear, I can't bear, I don't like, I did. Such a person is a useless thing for this earth, and sometimes I feel why God created them. It's a headache to have a person around you. I can't eat this, I don't like this, I did. Then why are you here? Nobody likes you either. No one likes such a person, and that's why that person is always, I don't like this, I don't like that. So the power of a person lies in bearing things. How much you can bear, how much you can undergo without feeling it. Like you are, say, in the jungle, you are happy. If you are in a palace, you are happy. If you are with this color or that color, if you are with this race or that race, if you are with this kind of life or that kind of life, you can bear it. And that bearing power gives you the caliber to have Sahaja Yoga. It's not that this is shown, it's not that is being suffered. Don't have to say, I suffer being like this. No, you don't suffer. It's just by the way. For a person who wants all the comforts, a person who wants to live with all the luxuries, but not with any kind of defects or any deficiencies, is a person, is a beggar, I would say, in every sense of the word. I mean, best things to get rid of problems is not to have them. In the sense, now I don't drive, so I have no problem of driving. I never telephone, so I don't have problems of telephones. I don't go to the banks, so I don't have problems of the banks. The best is, I don't have any income, so I have no problem of income tax. Whatever bothers you, you just don't have it. Why do you want to have it? Have it and then bother about it. It's very funny that you can get rid of anything that bothers you very easily in this world, so you need not have that kind of a thing on your head. But when the word problem, especially in the European community, problem is a very common word. But in English language we never learned this word, problem. You see, only the problem was used when we were studying geometry. Geometrical problem, but we never knew there's a problem in life. Later on, when I came in contact with European community, they'll say, there's no problem, this is the problem. At least in one day, 100 times they say problem word. So, for a problem, the solution is not to have that thing which gives you problem. You can give up anything. Anything that you want, you can give up if you know how to detach yourself from that. Many people come and tell me, Mother, we have an ego. That's the problem. I said, then give up. I mean, it's simple. Why do you have it? As if, you see, they want to say that we have trouble with this thing, but still we are clinging on to it. Like we are afraid of a crocodile, but we want to put our foot into the mouth of the crocodile. And we have a problem that our foot will be eaten up by the crocodile. Now give up. But they will search out a crocodile, open the mouth and put the foot in it. And then come to me and say, Mother, we have a problem. My foot is in the mouth of the crocodile. To get to problems, you have to get to it. But without getting to it, how will you get a problem? Say, for example, people have very silly, stupid problems. Now, the first problem somebody may have, oh, I have to get my clothes pressed. What's the need? No problem, wear them as they are. Who looks at it? You see, there are all the people who have pressed clothes, doesn't matter what is there if it is not pressed. It's a problem for them. It's silly things like that. You see, very silly things. But the greatest problem I think you have is your watch. In Switzerland, I shouldn't say so. You see, the problem is like this, that now you have to go to the airport. Now, as soon as you tell somebody, we have to go to the airport. Now, I have to go. You don't have to. Everybody gets sort of a jumping, as if standing on a jumping board. You see, all of them jumping like that. What's the matter? Mother, you have to go to the airport. So it's all right, I have to go. What's wrong with it? It's a problem. I said, what's the problem? I have to go. You just know that you don't have to go at all. You don't have to come to the airport. And the aeroplane, if it comes and doesn't take me, I'm not going to come back on your heads. So I'll stay in a hotel. Don't you worry. But why are you so excited about it? The way people are excited that I must catch the plane, sometimes I feel as if they want to get rid of me. So, this is a problem for people who are very meticulous. Now, supposing I say, I know that the plane won't leave me. I know, because I know many things. So I have no problems. But supposing, even if you think the plane you may not get. So it may not get. But if it gets you, all right. If it doesn't get you, it's all right. So where is the problem? Either it will take you or it will not take you. What is in between? Where is the problem? I still don't understand. Either it will work out or it will not work out. Keep two possibilities. That's the only two possibilities. What is the third possibility that gives you the problem, you tell me? Say somebody owes me money, all right. So either he will give me or he may not give me. What is the problem? The problem is that you call it a problem and want to avoid to face the truth. If you face the truth, you will know one thing, that see, now this man has to give me money, all right, I'll go and face it. I'll tell him, sir, you have to give me the money. You have to pay me. This is your duty. And if you don't pay me, you are doing wrong. You get at him and face him and tell him. But you won't do that. You'll sit at home, oh God, it's a problem. I have to, you see, that man is not giving money. Oh God, that's a problem. Sitting here, hitting your head all the time. How will you get it? If you face it directly, then you'll be amazed. There's no problem for anything. So to make the best of it is the way Shri Rama shows you. Now, what is the way he has helped us? Let us say. Sri Rama, by his character, by his balance, his peace, and his mildness and his sweetness, has shown us how a king should be a benevolent king, and at the same time, a very loving husband and a loving father and a person in Dharma. But apart from that, he went down to Maharashtra. He arranged all these things so that he could walk down to Maharashtra bare feet to vibrate the land. Because Sahajogis will be going one day to Maharashtra, and the Maharashtra has to be a vibrated land. In Ayodhya, he never took out his shoes because he was the king there. But when he went, and Sri Sita, both of them, when they went to Maharashtra, they took out their shoes to vibrate it. On his way, he saw a big stone, which was nothing but a lady, cursed to be a stone, Ahilya, and he made her, just by touch, she again came back to life. Like that, one after another, he was just, by the way, as if was doing, but that was the purpose of his life, to go there. And that has helped. A very great achievement within ourselves is the Shri Rama. Shri Rama stands for the pranavayu, is for the vital air that we drink, that we take in, for the vital air. And that vital air, when it gets heated up, we have to know that we are not anymore with Shri Rama. It has to be the cool air, should blow through your nose and your mouth. I don't know about you people, it happens with me all the time. When you are angry, the nostrils go up, swell up, and the hot air, the hot words, and everything hot, the heated eyes, and everything goes up like that, curled up, and you become ferocious Ravana, because you have forgotten the beauty of the nature of Shri Rama. What has he done to our centered heart is the greatest thing, that he has given you a fatherhood within yourself. Because Shri Rama represents the fatherhood. Now what sort of a father you are, you have to decide. Those people who are not good fathers develop problems of the right heart. Also, those people who are not good husbands also develop the right heart. This right heart is so important because, especially in the West, where the climate is so funny, you have to keep inside your rooms and closed all the time, that you get all dried up inside. At that time, if you don't have that sweetness, that warmth, that kindness of Sri Rama, you get the trouble of asthma. So many people die of asthma in the West. On top of that, you fight with your wives, you treat them, you take away their money, you cheat them in their money, and every way you torture them, then it becomes even worse. So it has something to do with money, in the sense because Sitaji was Sri Lakshmi, and Sitaji was the one who was the power of Sri Rama. So the Sri Lakshmi also gets annoyed with you when you are a bad father or a bad husband. That's why the Griha Lakshmi is very important. But the woman has to be the Griha Lakshmi. She should not be a shrew and then the husband is supposed to be kind to her. Then it's spoiling. That's very bad. The woman has to be a Griha Lakshmi, a beautiful woman with a very sweet nature and talking to her husband in a very sankoch manner, and also looking after the children, looking after the family, and looking after the guests who come to their house. There's something like Stri Dharma, there's something like Pati Dharma, there's something like Mata Dharma, Pita Dharma. Everything has a Dharma. Those men who torture their wives have very bad heart. In the same way, those who play into the hands of their wives also have a very bad right heart. You have to be in the balance. You are the husband and she's your wife, and both are responsible for keeping a very good family relationship. It's not one-sided. It's not the husband only or the wife, but both of them to be in such a manner that they act according to their nature of woman and man and respect each other, love each other, share everything with each other, and exist in a way that people should see that there are two wheels of a chariot, one on the left, one on the right. There's no imbalance. They are equal but not similar, as I have told many times. So that's the Maryada Purushottama, is the one who is the highest among all the men, with his all the maryadas, all the boundaries that he observes. The boundaries are such that you do not try to overpower others, or you do not try to take their seats. From Shri Rama's life, we learn a lot, and from Sitaji's life also. Both of them have done so much for us, bring forth such a great life. All their lives they suffered and suffered and suffered. They lived in the villages, they lived in the forest. While they were the king and the queen, they had never known what is discomfort. They traveled all the way bare feet. They went through all kinds of tortures of life. Sita was taken away by Ravana, who was a horrid man. She had to live with a Rakshasa, can you imagine? She lived with a Rakshasa, and there she showed her greatness. The characters of different nature, like Sita and Shri Rama, they were showing the complementary attributes that they are, very complementary. And if that is so, then the husband-wife's relation. I find some people are very nice. Some leaders are extremely nice, but wives can be very hard, can be very stiff, or could be very mischievous, could be troublesome, selfish. You cannot grow in Sahaja Yoga with these qualities. It's such a luck and chance that your husband is the leader, is the highest man in your nation, in Sahaja Yoga, and where you have to be up to his ability, capability, and his name. Otherwise, you have no authority. That's why I have to tell you that on this day of the Dasera, let us decide that we are going to have Ram Rajya in Sahaja Yoga, where there is benevolence, there is love, compassion, security, peace, joy, discipline among ourselves. The whole disciplining is within ourselves. What I say about Shri Rama is that he himself has put himself into the discipline of Maryadas. In the same way, we ourselves should put ourselves into the discipline of Maryadas. It is a very great thing that it should happen in Switzerland, because Switzerland needs it the most. The blessings of Shri Rama. The way it is going on in this country, this very selfish, non-benevolent activities going on, ruining all the poorer nations by this kind of a selfish attitude, a very narrow attitude, very low-level attitude towards the money of these poorer nations. Is important, very important for us today to pray for the emancipation of the hearts of those people who are just butchering. In these modern times, you don't have wars. But financially, they are butchering people, they are killing them by depriving them of their own money and their own benevolence. So, if Ram Rajya has to come, then Rama is to be born in the hearts of people who are at the helm of affairs. And that's how we have to pray to Shri Ram that be kind and compassionate, so that you could be born into the hearts of these people. May God bless you all.
Jai Shri Mataji. Today, the 31st of October, 2020, we the Sahaj Yogis of America have gathered to worship and accomplish a puja to our Divine Mother, Shri Mataji Nirmala Devi, in the form of Shri Ram. Shri Mataji, we pray to your aspect of Shri Rama to establish Dharma in our country and lead us to Ram Rajya. Let there be benevolence in the character of those who lead our country. O Maryada Purushottama, please help us follow your character of the ideal king, son, father, and husband. Please give us your quality of sankoch, the formality that allows us to be gentler people in the manner that you are. You showed us how to be the ideal human being, and you destroyed all the evil that abounded during the time of Ravan. We pray to you to destroy all the evil that is in this world again. Shri Mataji, we your children pray to you to accept this puja, dedicated with limited ability and knowledge. O great goddess, we also ask you to forgive us for all the mistakes committed during this puja, knowingly or unknowingly, dedicated to Shri Adi Shakti Nirmala Devi. Jai Shri Mataji. We will start with Shri Ganesha Puja. Shri Ganesh Mantra. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Shri Ganesh Atharvashish.
श्री गणेश अथर्व शीर्षम ॐ नमस्ते गणपतये त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं तत्त्वमसि त्वमेव केवलं कर्तासि त्वमेव केवलं धर्तासि त्वमेव केवलं हर्तासि त्वमेव सर्वं खल्विदं ब्रह्मासि त्वं साक्षादात्मासि नित्यं ऋतं वच्मि सत्यं वच्मि अवत्वं माम् अववक्तारम् अवश्रोतारम् अवदातारम् अवधातारम् अवानूचानमवशिष्यम् अवपश्चात्तात् अवपुरस्तात् अवोत्तरात्तात् अवदक्षिणात्तात् अवचोर्ध्वात्तात् अवाधरात्तात् सर्वतो मां पाहि पाहि समन्तात् त्वं वाङ्मयस्त्वं चिन्मयः त्वमानन्दमयस्त्वं ब्रह्ममयः त्वं सच्चिदानन्दाद्वितीयोऽसि त्वं प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वं ज्ञानमयो विज्ञानमयोऽसि सर्वं जगदिदं त्वत्तो जायते सर्वं जगदिदं त्वत्तस्तिष्ठति सर्वं जगदिदं त्वयि लयमिष्यति सर्वं जगदिदं त्वयि प्रत्येति त्वं भूमिरापो नलो नीलो नभः त्वं चत्वारि वाक्पदानि त्वं गुणत्रयातीतः त्वं देहत्रयातीतः त्वं कालत्रयातीतः त्वं मूलाधारस्थितोऽसि नित्यं त्वं शक्तित्रयात्मकः त्वां योगिनो ध्यायन्ति नित्यं त्वं ब्रह्मा त्वं विष्णुस्त्वं रुद्रस्त्वम् इन्द्रस्त्वम् अग्निस्त्वं वायुस्त्वं सूर्यस्त्वं चन्द्रमास्त्वं ब्रह्मभूर्भुवस्वरों गणादिं पूर्वमुच्चार्य वर्णादिं तदनन्तरम् अनुस्वारपरतरः अर्धेन्दुलसितं तारेण ऋद्धम् एतत्तव मनुस्वरूपं गकारपूर्वरूपम् अकारो मध्यमरूपम् अनुस्वारश्चान्त्यरूपं बिन्दुरुत्तररूपं नादसन्धानं संहिता सन्धिः सैषा गणेशविद्या गणकऋषिः निच्छृद्गायत्री छन्दः गणपतिर्देवता ॐ गं गणपतये नमः एकदन्ताय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्ती प्रचोदयात् एकदन्तं चतुर्हस्तं पाशमङ्कुशधारिणं रदञ्च वरदं हस्तैर्बिभ्राणं मूषकध्वजं रक्तं लम्बोदरं शूर्पकर्णकं रक्तवाससं रक्तगन्धानुलिप्ताङ्गं रक्तपुष्पैः सुपूजितं भक्तानुकम्पिनं देवं जगत्कारणमच्युतम् आविर्भूतं च सृष्ट्यादौ प्रकृते पुरुषात् परम् एवं ध्यायति यो नित्यं स योगी योगिनां वरः नमो व्रातपतये नमो गणपतये नमः प्रमथपतये नमस्तेऽस्तु लम्बोदरायैकदन्ताय विघ्ननाशिने शिवसुताय श्रीवरदमूर्तये नमो नमः साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः।
Shruti, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Thank you. So we worshipped these last many Saturdays different aspects of Shrimaji. And we just worshipped her in her different aspects as a great goddess during Navaratri. As we know also that before Shri Ram went and killed Ravana, he worshipped Adi Shakti, that is Shrimaji Nirmala Devi, to get the power to be able to destroy Ravan. The same way, we worship Shrimaji in her different aspects to destroy all the Ravanas within us. To establish Ram Rajya, Shri Ram has to be awakened and established within us. Then only can that reflection, that projection, go into the atmosphere, go to people, because we are reflectors of the divine. There are two kinds of chastity. One is moral chastity, where our innocence is intact, where we are chaste people, we follow all the dharmas. And then there's a material chastity, that even with matter, we are honest, we're self-disciplined, and we treat everybody and everything with respect. So, as we're asking for this high state of Ram Rajya to be established first within ourselves, and then to go to society, let us very humbly work that through ourselves so that it starts to manifest outside. So first we'll take the 21 names of Sri Vishnu, and then we will worship Srimaji in her aspect as Shri Rama. So for the first one, we'll take the full mantra of Sri Vishnu. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Vishnu Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Shri Mataji Shri Nirmala Devai Namo Namaha. Shri Keshavai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Keshavai Namo Namaha. That is the one that, O Lord Vishnu, you're the one with the beautiful hair. Shri Narayana, the one who's the shelter of everyone. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Narayanai Namo Namaha. Shri Madhavai, the one who's the husband of the mother, that is Shri Lakshmi. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Madhavai Namo Namaha. Shri Govindai, the one who protects the cows. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Govindai Namo Namaha. Shri Vishnu, the one who's the all-pervading one. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Vishnu Namo Namaha. Now the next one is without Shri, because this is the aspect of Shri Vishnu as the killer of the demon Madhu. Madhusudanai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Madhusudanai Namo Namaha. Shri Trivikramai, the one who measured the world with 3 steps. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Trivikramai Namo Namaha. Shri Vamanai, the one who incarnated as a short man. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Vamanai Namo Namaha. Shri Sridharai, the one who is the wielder of all the divine powers. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Sridharai Namo Namaha. Shri Rishikeshai, the one who's the Lord of all the senses. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Rishikeshai Namo Namaha. Shri Padmanabha, the one that has a lotus coming out of your navel, the source of the universe. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Padmanabhai Namo Namaha. Shri Damodarai, the one who can be attained only through discipline. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Damodarai Namo Namaha. Shri Sankarsanyai, the one who absorbs everything into himself. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Sankarsanyai Namo Namaha. Shri Vasudevai, the son of Vasudeva, the father of Sri Krishna. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Vasudevai Namo Namaha. Shri Pradyumnai, the one who is infinite. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Pradyumnai Namo Namaha. Shri Aniruddhai, the one who's never obstructed or overcome. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Aniruddhai Namo Namaha. Shri Purushottamai, the one who is the highest among all human beings. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Purushottamai Namo Namaha. Shri Aghokshai, the one who destroys sin. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Aghokshai Namo Namaha. Shri Narsimhai, the one who incarnated as the man lion. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Narsimhai Namo Namaha. Shri Upendrai, the one who's like Indra, the king of the gods. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Upendrai Namo Namaha. Shri Achyutai, the one who's almighty and unchanging. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Achyutai Namo Namaha. Now we'll just pause for a few minutes and then we will worship Shimaji in her aspect as Shri Ram. Now we'll offer the names of Sri Ram. And of course, the first one is always Sri Sita Ram, because as Shimaji explained, that Sri Sita, who Sri Mahalakshmi, is the Shakti of Sri Ram. And as we're taking these names, we need to be cognizant of the fact that he's the one who does all the inner work within us. And so the inner must be first established before you can go to the outer. So Sri Sita Ram. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Sita Rama Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devai Namo Namaha. Now, with the simple prayer that Sri Ram kindly enlighten us within, and also we will do our best to keep you awakened within us. Shri Ram, the one who gives joy. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Rama Namo Namaha. Shri Rama Bhadrai, the one who gives auspicious joy, who's auspicious himself. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Rama Bhadrai Namo Namaha. Shri Ramachandrai, the one who's joyful like the full moon. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ramachandrai Namo Namaha. Shri Shashvatai, the one who is eternal. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Shashvatai Namo Namaha. Shri Rajiva Lochanai, the one with blue lotus-like eyes. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Rajiva Lochanai Namo Namaha. Shri Shriman, the one who is the glorious one. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Shrimana Namo Namaha. Shri Rajendra, the one who's the King of Kings. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Rajendra Namo Namaha. Shri Raghu Pungava, the one who's the star amongst the Raghu dynasty. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Raghu Pungavai Namo Namaha. Shri Janaki Vallabhai, the one who's the consort of Shri Janaki, who's Shri Sita. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Janaki Vallabhai Namo Namaha. The one, Sri Jaitra, the one who's victorious. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Jaitrai Namo Namaha. The one who wins over friends, Sri Jita Mitrai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Jita Mitrai Namo Namaha. The one who's the Lord of the people, Shri Janardhanai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Janardhanai Namo Namaha. The one who was loved by Vishwamitra, Shri Vishwamitra Priyai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Vishwamitrai Priyai Namo Namaha. Shri Dantai, the one who's calm and patient. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Dantai Namo Namaha. He is the one who is quick in giving refuge to those who suffer yet are surrendered. Shri Sharanya Tranatat Para. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Sharanya Tranatat Parai Namo Namaha. The one who was the destroyer of Bali, the usurper of Sugriev's throne. Shri Vali Pramathanai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Vali Pramathanai Namo Namaha. The one who is the powerful speaker, Shri Vagami. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Vagami Namo Namaha. The one who is the speaker of truth, Shri Satyavak. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Satyavaka Namo Namaha. The one who is valiant in the name of truth, Shri Satya Vikramai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Satya Vikramai Namo Namaha. The one who observes all vows, Shri Vratadharai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Vratadharai Namo Namaha. The one who is devoted to truth, Shri Satya Vratai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Satya Vratai Namo Namaha. The one who is the eternal support of Sri Hanuman, Sri Sada Hanuman Ashritai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Sada Hanumana Ashritai Namo Namaha. The son of Queen Kaushalya, Sri Kaushalyai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Kaushalyai Namo Namaha. The one who's the destroyer of the demon Khara, who was one of the brothers of Ravan. So here we want to use Shri. Khara Dvanshani, Dvansai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Khara Dvansihi Namo Namaha. The one who was expert in destroying the demon Viradha. So here again, we will not use Shri. Viradha Vadha Panditai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Viradha Vadha Panditai Namo Namaha. The one who was the protector of Vibhishan, the one who was Ravan's brother, but who worshipped Shri Rama. Shri Vibhishana Paritratai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Vibhishana Paritratai Namo Namaha. The one who broke the bow of Lord Shiva. Shri Hara Kodanda Khandanai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Hara Kodanda Khandanai Namo Namaha. He's the one who permeates the seven planes of existence. Shri Sapta Tata Prabheta. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Sapta Tala Prabhetaye Namo Namaha. He's the one who severed the 10 heads of Ravana. So here again, we will not use Shri. Drasha Griva Shirohara. Om Tvameva Sakshat Dasha Griva Shiroharai Namo Namaha. Next one again is in his aspect as the destroyer of the demon Tataka. So again, we will not use Shri. Tatak Antakai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Tatak Antakai Namo Namaha. The one who is the essence of all the Vedas, Sri Vedant Sarai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Vedanta Sarai Namo Namaha. The one who is the spirit of the Vedas, Sri Vedatma. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Veda Atmai Namo Namaha. The one who is the healer of diseases, Shri Bhava Rogasya Bhesajai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Bhava Rogasya Bhesajai Namo Namaha. Again, is his aspect as the slayer of the demons, Dushana and Trishara. So here again, we will not use Shri. Dushana Trishoro Hatai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Dushana Trishora Hatai Namo Namaha. The one who is the master of the three gunas, Sattva, Raja, and Tama. Shri Trimurti. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Trimurti Namo Namaha. The one who is the spiritual essence of the three gunas, Shri Trigunatmikai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Trigunatmikai Namo Namaha. The one who strode over the three worlds, Shri Trivikramai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Trivikramai Namo Namaha. The one who is the spirit of the three worlds, Shri Trilok Atma. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Triloka Atmai Namo Namaha. He is the one whose story is a source of merit to those who sing it. Shri Punya Charitra Kirtanai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Punya Charitra Kirtanai Namo Namaha. He's the one who's the protector of the three worlds. Shri Triloka Rakshakai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Triloka Rakshakai Namo Namaha. He's the one who's armed with a bow. Shri Dhanavi. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Dhanavi Namo Namaha. He's the one who took shelter in the forest. Shri Danda Karanya Vasa Krutai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Danda Karanya Vasa Krutai Namo Namaha. He's the one who released Ahilya from a curse. Shri Ahilya Shapa Shamanai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ahalya Shapa Shamanai Namo Namaha. The one who was devoted to his father, Shri Pitru Bhaktai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Pitru Bhaktai Namo Namaha. He's the one who's the bestower of boons, Shri Vara Pradai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Vara Pradai Namo Namaha. He's the one who's the conqueror of the sense organs, Shri Jetendriyai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Jitendrai Namo Namaha. He's the conqueror of anger, Jita Krodhai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Jita Krodhai Namo Namaha. He's the preceptor of the whole world, Shri Jagat Guru. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Jagat Guru Namo Namaha. He's the Lord who gathered under his protection an army of monkeys. Shri Raksha Vanar Sanghataka. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Raksha Vanar Sanghatakai Namo Namaha. He's the Lord who took refuge at the Chitrakuta hill. Shri Chitrakuta Sam Ashriyai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Chitrakuta Sam Ashriyai Namo Namaha. He is the one who was served by the son of Sumitra, that is, by Sri Lakshmana. Shri Sumitra Putra Sevitai. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Sumitra Putra Sevitai Namo Namaha. With this, we complete our offering today morning. But we also take his name as the one who is Allah, the one who is Jehovah. Also, he's the one who is the Virat. So we'll take his name as Shri Adi Purusha, the one who's the primordial one, the masculine principle associated with Prakriti, which is the creative energy of Shri Adi Shakti, Shri Adi Purusha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Adi Purushai Namo Namaha. Then, as the supreme collective being, that is the Param Purusha, who's also Allah, who's also Jehovah, who's also the Virat. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Param Purushai Namo Namaha. And the last one we'll take is the one who's the supreme, Shri Parama. And here we'll take the full mantra. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Parama Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Shri Mataji Shri Nirmala Devai Namo Namaha. We'll meditate for a few minutes. And then after that, we'll have Aarti. And for those who'd like to stay on, we'll have a little conversation after Aarti and after meditating after that. Just 5-10 minutes.
we can all stand up for Aarti.
सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जग में संकट कारण कितने दिए अवतार माँ, कितने दिए अवतार। विश्व में तेरी महिमा, विश्व में तेरी महिमा, तू गंगा यमुना माँ, सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जो भी शरण में आया सुख ही मिला उसको माँ, सुख ही मिला उसको। बैठ के दिल में ओ माँ, बैठ के दिल में ओ माँ, लौट के ना जाना माँ, सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। मानव में अवतर के कर दिया उजियाला माँ, कर दिया उजियाला। कलयुग में माया है, कलयुग में माया है, फिर भी पहचाना माँ, सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। संत जनों की धरती है भारत माता, माँ है भारत माता। इस धरती पर आकर, इस धरती पर आकर, दुख से दूर करना माँ, सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जब दिल में आए तब मधु संगीत सुन लो माँ, मधु संगीत सुन लो। हो सके जो सेवा, हो सके जो सेवा, हमसे करा लेना माँ, सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निरमल माता जी, जय निरमल माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना, माँ सबको दुआ देना। त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री महालक्ष्मी महासरस्वती महाकाली त्रिगुणात्मिका कुंडलिनी साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माता जी, श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माता जी, श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री सहस्रार स्वामिनी मोक्ष प्रदायिनी माता जी, श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। बोलो श्री भगवती माता जी, श्री निर्मला देवी की जय।
Good morning, Jai Shri Mataji. So we've been offering pujas, and of course, when we offer pujas, you know, the divine blesses us with these vibrations. And so we just want to let them soak within ourselves so they transform us. Initially, when we started this, it started with a thing of, having the right governance in this country. But then as we started offering, we talked about it and we said, Shrimati, may what you think is right happen, not only for this country, but for all the countries in the world. And we know that it's a play which is going on, and she knows how this play is to be played and how this whole world and human beings are to be evolved. But we can definitely play a part in it by imbibing and reflecting those saintly qualities which a Yogi should have. So the election happens, or at least is culminated on the 3rd of November. But our intent is to continue with these Saturday meditations to not only evolve ourselves, but also as instruments of the divine to grow our light within us so that it's reflected and it actually starts to impact people and well as the whole community, not only in this country, but all over the world. So whoever would like to participate and join, you're very welcome.